Thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Thank you to my MC. Now, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here with us and being interested in what we are doing in the blockchain environment and being part of this event. I have the most wonderful privilege of moderating this awesome panel. And I would like to start introducing my panel to you and get into the crux of the matter. Talent being the center of a lot of things that we do, and most importantly, the success of the things that we do. I'd like to kick off by introducing Professor Dr. Aini. She's the Dean from the Faculty of Economics and Management in UKM. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you.
The other person I'd like to introduce is Mr. Suresh Naidu. He is one of the committee members of Access with focus on education, and he's also closely working with APU. He will run through a little bit about what he's done there with the students in APU. Welcome, Suresh.
Hi, Jasmine. Hi, everyone.
And I have with us as well Mr. Jan Lambrecht. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Jan. No, wrong? Okay.
It's okay.
Tell me how it's pronounced, please.
Well, Jan Lambrecht.
Yeah, okay, close, but not quite.
Close.
No prizes. So Jan is from Epitome Global, and he will also share a little bit about what he is going to do, because all the panelists will go through a round of introduction and they will share with us what they are doing in their capacity. Last but not least, I have with us Associate Professor Dr. Raja Kumar from Taylor's College. He is the Head of Research and Innovation, Head of Research for Innovation and Tech at Taylor's University. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Jasmine, and my fellow panelists and audience. Honored to be here.
Welcome, everyone. I'd like to kick the ball rolling with Professor Dr. Aini. If you don't mind just sharing a little bit about yourself and what you're doing in UKM, and most importantly, a little bit about talent development for the emerging technology, specifically in blockchain environment.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. I'm Aini, Dean of FAP UKM, Faculty of Economics and Management. In FAP, we have a research center. It's not school, but research center that we set up to support the trend in research. One of the research center just established, I think, 3 years ago. It's Global Business and Digital Economy, or known as GLOBE. So through GLOBE, we generate and promote advanced knowledge to leverage emerging technologies and best practices in global business and digital economy for sustainability and competitive businesses, government, and society. I think you might hear before, we have a forum with EPU to promote digital economy. And it's quite a big success where 700 participants attend. And we also promote global financial analytics, emerging technology and big data, and also competency and innovation. And I think I should also thank Michael Warren, our adjunct professor, for his initiation and ideas on blockchain initiative at UKM. We started with blockchain talks at UKM to create awareness among our students and faculty members, but public also attend to our talks, and big companies such as IBM, PwC, and other big players in blockchain. Through that, we also set up blockchain sandbox, and we set up our board of advisor. That is where companies come and test their solutions, and our faculty members and students learn through that exercise. For example, we work with policymakers for e-voting system, and also thinking with for Hermes blockchain. Okay, and we also work with Federal for blockchain job offers. That is where we identify the kind of jobs offered by companies and what kind of talent they need. And through this lab and work with companies and the government, we hope to produce not only graduates with degree, but also with expertise in latest technology and also experience working in the lab with the companies. Okay, and I think this is quite a tremendous learning exercise where now more and more our researchers start to doing research in blockchain, and funded by KPT as well as government agencies. We have latest grant supported by KPT on zakat blockchain and also halal food supply chain. Yeah. And we receive quite a number of applicants, for master and degree or master and PhD in blockchain research. Yeah. And I think through research, that is where we create new knowledge, new ideas, new innovation, and we are going to continue doing that. Okay, I think that's for now.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Aini. If I could invite Suresh next to just share a little bit very quickly what you're doing with APU as well as in Access for education.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Suresh Naidu Sadasivan. Currently I am the senior blockchain consultant for Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, or known as APU. Right. I'm also the committee member in charge of education for Access Malaysia currently. Right. So our main key idea is to get the knowledge of the blockchain to the public, okay, or world at large. All right. So then, since I'm with the APU, so what I decided is like it should start from the education level, right? So APU being the IT university, so what I've done with them at the moment is I formed a club, okay, for the students, right? I just sent out the feelers to the students, okay, whoever wants to join this particular club, okay, why not come to us? And then we had initially about 20 over students, right? They showed their interest, right? And then I came to know that these students are also doing trading in cryptocurrencies, right? So the thing is, and I asked, okay, so you guys know about blockchain? They said, yes, sir, we know something about it, but we are more into crypto, so we want to know more. So I say, so why don't you guys form a club? All right. So I made the students, okay, I made it such a way that the club is formed by the students, not from me, right? The initiative came from the student, right? And then so far we have done, then we partnered with Access Malaysia and also Encode Club, okay, which is an international community, okay, to educate the public and clubs, okay, they support clubs. So I made a connect with them. Currently, we are in the process of getting this idea to other universities, right? I think soon we will come to Taylor's and also to UKM regarding this, right? So also through the students. And so we already had like 2 talks on blockchain and stuff. So that is what is roughly happening in the university space. Well, for me, my background, I've been like, in the education side for almost like 25 years, right? And I was a lecturer with APU. I was lecturing in law for almost 12 years. And then I resigned in 2016 due to the passion with blockchain, and I wanted to go into the industry. And travel has been so far so good for me. And at the moment, I've done like trainings and workshops and public talk sessions on blockchain. In fact, even for private and also GLCs, I've done workshops for like TNB, Post Aviation, SEDA, Energy Commission, MCMC. So many, all right. Even for Medini, I've done one talk for them. My main project is we have done a pilot project, peer-to-peer energy transfer in blockchain with SEDA Malaysia, right? And currently, I'm also the innovation and communication advisor for a startup called Landoc, which is based in Dubai, right? So that's about me and what I've been doing. Over
Thank
to
you.
Jessica.
Thank you, Suraj. And next up, we would like to hear a little bit from Jan, on what you're doing in Epitome.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. So, Epitome, I'm the CEO of Epitome at the moment. We are a company active in quite a few countries, and basically we help individuals to be the best version of themselves by helping them make the connection from education into the workforce, helping them absorb a lifelong learning mindset that eventually leads to lifelong employability. Because we know now that our kids will have to reinvent themselves several times, like 7 to 8 times is projected that they have to do a career switch. So we're helping them to build in that lifelong learning mindset so that you always keep upskilling yourself across your career. The other part we do is we help companies survive the fourth industrial revolution, because the companies are quite big hit by, of course, this fourth industrial revolution, which got fired up because of the pandemic. But if you look into it, like, banks are not banks anymore. Banks are now IT companies. So how do they have to reinvent their workforce, and how they have to prepare their workforce for the future? Because you cannot just keep firing and hiring new people. You have to help to evolve your workforce over time as well. And then we help governments where we give them data so they can make data-driven policy-changing decisions about their workforce, on where to invest in, or what direction the economy should be going, so that the workforce and the universities can follow that as well, and not based on gut feeling, but really based on data and analytics. That's it in a nutshell.
Thank you so much, Jan. And last up, we would like to hear from Associate Professor Dr. Raj Kumar from Taylor's.
Hi, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. You can just call me Raja, and I head research for the Faculty of Innovation and Technology at Taylor's University. I'm hardcore seasoned academic, facilitate learning as well as research. And my key area of research is advanced computer networks. So I look into network security, IoT, internet communication protocols, internet governance, future internet. And when I talk about network security, then of course we have security in IoT, we have security in mobile, dark networks and all that. So I apply actually machine learning or deep learning algorithms, which I broadly classified as learning algorithms, because we don't deploy just one algorithm. Most of the time, it is a combination of algorithms and other mechanisms. And whenever I want to have security or confidentiality or trust, then we include blockchain technology there. So recently, since a couple of years back, with a few undergraduate students, I worked with FatHops, Sindre Braha, that actually converts waste oil into biofuel. So they supply the raw material to countries in Europe. So they want two things. They want to identify the source, because basically, like McDonald's and Pizza Huts, all these are suppliers. So they what they say is they give the waste oil, food oil, to these companies. So with this company, and this company just goes every day, collects the oil from them, and so they want to identify the source. First thing. Second thing is they want to incentivize these companies, these food outlets that are supplying the food waste oil to them. So we introduced blockchain. We worked with them. And recently there is a group of students who are also doing as their undergraduate capstone project on fake news. So they also use a combination of learning algorithms to do predictive analysis, predictive analytics, and they use blockchain for the credibility, how to define the credibility of the news and validate the credibility of the news. So like we have proof of stake and proof of work. So they are using crowdsourcing and proof of credibility. And they have applied with Twitter as to develop a prototype model. The early model, it works, and we may have a working version maybe by the first quarter of 2022. And I also have my own colleague who's doing his PhD under my supervision in terms of research. He's also working on fake news. So again, we use a combination of methods to define the credibility of news. I don't want to call it as fake news, how to define the credibility of news, especially on social media. So he applies a combination of learning algorithms, then trust-based model and blockchain. So, and I have another student from China who's also working on blockchain, and he's looking into, because we know blockchain is heavy on computing, right? So he's looking into the various consensus algorithms. So he's just started. So he's comparing proof of stake and proof of work in terms of the various algorithms, and he's looking into how it can be made more lightweight and dynamically suited for lightweight applications. Because when we look into devices like IoT, so even though the computing power has increased with devices, there are still a lot of devices that are resource constrained. So when we want to apply blockchain there, so how this challenge of making the blockchain, whatever mechanism of blockchain that we want, how we can make it lightweight. So this is what we have been doing so far in terms of research. Awesome. And we also have introduced blockchain as a specialization under the undergraduate degree, but I don't know. Sometimes we see we see a demand in the market, but when we roll it out, there is no real pick from the students. So we have as a specialization under the computer science degree, but not much of takers. But recently, under another faculty, we have introduced, under the business faculty, we have introduced modules on blockchain under the fintech specialization. So students have the opportunity at the undergraduate level as well as at the master's level to learn blockchain as a course, part of the degree or part of their master's.
Thank you.
So that is my engagement in terms of blockchain and as an academic. Yeah.
Thank you, Raja. I mean, it's very insightful, and I'm going to start with the first questions in terms of something you said, Raja, in terms of how students are not really taking up the blockchain course, despite the fact that blockchain as a technology is heading up headlines. And I would start the question with Dr. Aini, if you don't mind. What's your observation in terms of students' engagement with emerging tech and their hunger to want to learn or not? I mean, it may not be something that they want to take up at all. We could start with Dr. Aini.
Okay, thanks, Jasmine. I would say that students are quite excited with the emerging technologies. So whenever we offer new topics, seminars, they will attend, and they even offer programs or projects to among themselves, to promote that, to learn how to use, to get certification and something else and others. Yeah. So even some of students approach me, where can I get certificates on blockchain? Right? How can I learn RPA, something like that? So it's all embedded in the courses. So I just tell him that this is the course you should take if you want to learn that stuff. Yeah. So for cloud accounting, for example, that is embedded in our accounting information system course. And students really learn and get certified with Zero, a simple ERP cloud accounting system, and use that to do consultation with SMEs. With that experience, most of them are hired before convocation. So they really appreciate that. And some of them message me saying that thank you for that course, and for the certification.
So students are very interested in courses that can get them hired, obviously.
Yeah.
Raja, would you like to comment a little bit? Because at Taylor's, even though the courses are offered, but the comment was that the uptake is not as expected, meaning not as much as the establishment would hope, I assume.
Yeah, for the fintech is good because the what to say, the attraction in this region is more to business courses, especially in Malaysia. So compared to business courses or culinary and arts, the what to say, the computing or engineering, comparatively they are smaller comparatively. But we see a lot of attractions to to AI or robotics or data science or what to say, cybersecurity. So we are not seeing that big number to enroll as a course for blockchain. Fintech, yes, because for fintech, the target market is more towards students who want to major in finance or accounting. So they do a specialization on fintech. But here we introduced into the computer science degree as one of the specialization. Like we have cybersecurity, we have data science, we have AI, we have mobile computing, cloud computing. So like that, we introduced blockchain. But I don't know, as a course, we didn't have much of attraction. But as a project and research, yes. So we also have a few students now from China inquiring to do research by PhD in blockchain. As a project and as research, yes. But maybe I'm not very sure why it doesn't attract them to take it as a course at the as a program at the undergraduate level. But of course, we are planning to introduce micro credentials and all that. So that may attract them because, like rightly Prof. Aini said, they ask about short courses. And of course, we have plenty of courses under the MOOC platform, both the free version as well as the paid version if you want to get the certification. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Now, Suresh, what is your experience with students? I mean, you've even come into, I mean, I've personally seen an increase in student interest in Access as an association and wanting to become a student member in the association. So would you care to comment on that?
Okay. All right. What I find is, you see, even before a student chooses the degree that he wants to do, it is very important because what they are looking at is what job is going to be available for me once I've completed the degree. As Dr. Raj mentioned just now, why there's more of them are catering towards these financial type of studies and accounting and stuff like that. So that is why we have to input the blockchain as like a course, all right, a part of it, right, rather than having it as a degree. Because why? At the moment, in Malaysia, I'm just talking about Malaysia, there's not enough what I call opening. When you talk about if you were to take a degree in blockchain, will I get a job in that particular area? That is the problem now, right? So so that is what the problem that they are foreseeing. But the interest is always there. But the question is, that is why we are seeing influx of students. When we talk to them, they have, as Prof. Aini mentioned just now, they are coming and asking, oh, can I have this course? Can I have that course? So in APU, we are providing micro credential courses. Okay, for short courses for students if they want to do it up in blockchain. We are also already doing for codings and stuff, right? So that is what we are doing at the moment, and we are preparing a blockchain type of degree. Blockchain course as in master's program. So probably they will finish some financial courses maybe in degree. Then as they move up and then they want to further their courses, so probably a master's in blockchain or something like that would be beneficial. So we are looking into that area also. So that is the main problem as the topic today, talent. So what talent is looking for out there, that knowledge is lacking still.
Yeah,
that is
absolutely, because if they don't think that they are able to be employed based out of a qualification, why would they want to go into that qualification, right? but they don't realize that employment in the blockchain environment is no longer confined to geographical location, but you can be employed from a company out of any part of the world, being paid in all those currencies, sitting in sunny, comfy Malaysia. So I think that is a different compensation. And for that, I like to come to Jan. You know, you are in the business of matching talent and passion of students, right? To make sure that whichever career they embark on, even though it is probably the first version of by the time they finish their career, the seventh version of reinvention. How do you help people see the emerging tech, especially in blockchain, that is sometimes difficult to visualize the benefit of going into a career like this?
Yeah, it's a tough question. We'd like to start a little bit with what we have seen from the graduates in Malaysia on an overall structure, because we have data from lots of universities, hundreds of thousands of students on the platform. And what we saw is actually that only 20% of students are in alignment with their career choice. So that means, like, if the government is expecting 100 engineers to come out, there's actually only 20 engineers coming out, and 80 of them need some kind of intervention point, being it doing an internship, having an idea what that job is. Why did they go in that direction? It's because of pressure from home. Mom said, I have to become a doctor, so I have to be a doctor, or I follow my best friends to school. And that's something that we already start with the self-realization. We let them go to a profiling and assessment tool where they find out what their passion is and what their direction is. And then we give them a little bit of imagination of, like, with these skills, actually, these are the type of jobs that are there. And then we map it to the jobs that are still very relevant today and that are slowly dying out. Like, for example, accountancy is now fully being automated, but there is still lots of accountants being graduated at any moment. Actually, we should be intervening there, that those accountants are actually one step away from becoming data scientists. If you teach them like one statistical visualization, data visualization tool, they are actually perfect data scientists at that moment. So that's what we try to let them imagine, like, this is how the job looks like, not the study looks like, but this is what you're going to be doing at the end. And you are a very analytical person. You're a very detailed-minded person. Okay, you will want to go in data, but you're a very high-level person and you don't like to go into details. You might want to go into digital sales or digital marketing. And that's how we, based on who you are, based on how you learn, based on what you're motivated, because motivation has a direct correlation to performance at work. That's how we then put you into this learning plan to move into the future. So but actually we should be starting way earlier, because it's already too late with the graduates. We should be starting already creating awareness for new technology, creating awareness for blockchain, for AI, for robotics, for drones. We should be creating that awareness already as early as primary. And this is actually where the mindset already starts to shape up, where you know, like, okay, this is a detail-minded person, this is an introvert, an extrovert. All those things become clear around 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. So this is where you already can start to see, like, hey, before you make the first biggest choice, going to the university or going to an institute of higher learning, this is who you are, this is what you like. And that's the intervention point should be way earlier than actually with the graduates, where it's already too late because they just spent 4 years on something they don't necessarily like. And then I think the other question is then, like, you know, blockchain, of course, blockchain is here to stay, and it's just gonna evolve even more. But I think we shouldn't be only looking at driving students through a blockchain course. We also should be looking at the current workforce that is unemployed. Like, we developed 5 years ago 100,000 of web developers, because that was the big need back then. 2-3 years ago, we developed 20,000 data scientists, which was the big thing right now. Actually, we should be looking into those web developers, some of them that are today unemployed, and convert them into blockchain specialists, because the step between a web developer and a blockchain is actually quite an acceptable learning plan. So yes, we need to produce blockchain students coming out from school, but we also have to look into the existing unemployed workforce to prep them for these new technologies as well.
Absolutely. So reskilling for those who are already out of school to me is, to a large extent, a personal responsibility. If you are stuck in a job that you don't like, or if you find yourself in a position where you are unable to find employment, then it is up to you individually to pivot your skills and look out there, because there's so many courses online, right? And
Or the alumni.
all the alumni, or come to the association. We're more than happy to share the road forward on a career in blockchain. So unfortunately, we don't have enough time to really delve further into the talent requirement and how the future development of talent into emerging tech, specifically in blockchain, is going to look like. But I like to invite my panelists to give me their closing statement in terms of talent and emerging tech industry, which nobody has a full roadmap of today. Dr. Aini, we'll start.
Okay, it's simple. Yeah, at university, especially in UKM or research university, we should aim at building human with technological capability, right? And then leading and manage early stage of innovation projects like blockchain, right? And that could support universities and countries' transformational agenda. Okay, and it spans from formal and informal learning. We create new pathways and industry, academia, government partnerships, yeah, to deliver aspirational and enabling programs, utilize and share expertise in learning and implementing emerging technology. But I hope you all understand.
Thank you.
Okay.
I hear a lot of collaboration, wanting to collaborate between talent and collaborating with the government to support national level agenda. And as citizens in the government, we should look upon that and skill ourselves in accordance. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Aini. Dr. Raja.
Yeah. Blockchain, we all know, it started with the cryptocurrency, and a few years back, we used to give a lot of talks on beyond blockchain, beyond cryptocurrencies and all that. Now we are seeing numerous applications and being applied in different applications and services. So the opportunities are, to me, infinite. And I also believe that technology is meaningful only when it reaches the people. So we see infinite opportunities with blockchain. Putting into application and services. So we should create more pathways, as Prof. Aini said. I used to attend Prof. Aini's monthly seminar series because of the pandemic. I don't know what is happening. Yeah. So like she said, yeah, okay. So I would like to emphasize that, this creating more pathways in terms of collaboration with different stakeholders. So we create more talents, taking advantage of what this blockchain as a technology has beyond cryptocurrencies. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Raja. Suresh.
Okay, on my part, okay, for those who are actually thinking about looking for jobs and stuff, other than blockchain developers or quality engineers, blockchain project managers, and blockchain designers, there are also non-tech job roles that you can also look at, right? Like, for example, legal consultants and attorneys on blockchain that is needed now, especially it is going into a regulatory space. So that people who are with that particular knowledge in this area is very, very important, right? Like I'm a very good example with a legal background. I went into blockchain, right? I'm seeing this, and I'm a consultant. I'm not a tech person, all right? So that is how it should be, all right? Advisory roles, and there are many things that you can actually create, right? So talent is not just about getting your education and going on. It can also be what you want to create, right? So you can, what do you think you want to create the job out there? That is the context that everybody should look at. Okay, especially now when the gap between the talent and demand and supply is still very substantial. So individuals, they can upskill themselves, through taking all these micro-credential courses, rather than keep telling that, oh, don't have jobs and stuff like that. You can actually create jobs in blockchain space, basically, right? So that should be my take. So in that way, the gap between the blockchain developers and tech people can be merged together, basically. Right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Suresh. Last but not least, Jan.
Yeah, so I think it's very important that the communication lines between industry, universities, government, that they remain open, because in the end, it's the industry that is gonna employ them. So if we can bring those talents there with already the necessary skills, mostly sometimes not even technical skills, but soft skills like teamwork, collaboration, good communication, problem solving skills, lifelong learning mindset, if we help the students in that way, so that when they come at the companies, and then the companies can help to further educate them based on what jobs they need. I think that's a really big thing that communication needs to go on. And then the other thing, like I hear it so many times, like, oh, either hear say like, oh, there is not enough jobs or there is not enough talent. Well, you can just actually browse. There's hundred thousands of jobs created every year in Malaysia, and lots of them are tech jobs. But then about the talent, what we found out from our research is that from the talent that we have, there's like 450,000 graduates or something. More than 42% have a very high match to emerging tech, like AI specialists, robotic engineers, data scientists, data engineers, cybersecurity specialists. So all these jobs will always use some skills and knowledge into blockchain. So it's correct. We shouldn't see blockchain as a separate thing. Blockchain is going to disrupt all these industry over time anyway. But what is really weird is that about 40% of those guys, they have a very high match to tech, but they are studying in something completely different, in a completely different major or in a completely different course. So they were absolutely not aware of how the world is moving and what is going to be important in the next few years. So I think that is something where the universities also need to look into in the intake of the new students. Is there a match with that person to the course that they're choosing, or are they just choosing from, I'm just going to make money and I'm going to churn myself 4 years through it, and then they have 1 year in the job and then they will be bored and they quit and they will do something else. So I think that are some really important points. We have to rely on the data and the analytics, on the research that we can do to help create learning paths and a learning mindset, a lifelong learning mindset with a lifelong employability as the goal. So they can keep reinventing themselves so they stay relevant for the future, because there's another pandemic going to come, there's another disruption going to come, there's another technology that is going to change everything again. So how do we teach our kids that they have to reinvent themselves several times in their careers?
Thank you. Thank you so much to my fellow panelists. And I just sum up what everybody is driving towards. World-class blockchain talent starts with the individual. The universities are already providing the courses. They are already there for you to learn. There are already associations within every industry or technology that you choose to be participating in to help you understand more about what is in the industry. The wonderful internet is full of things that you can get answers from. And then you have organizations like Epitome who will give you a little light if you are finding yourself a bit lost in terms of what you feel like you should be doing and what you are actually doing. So building world-class talent in anything, specifically today we are speaking about blockchain, starts with you as an individual. Thank you so much, my fellow panelists, for a wonderful insight and a wonderful session.